I mean, it would have to say that, right? To be an available part of a question. It would say driver. That's not even listed in HCPCS. I don't know why they're referring me there, but they do. It's very weird. But I find that a lot of times it's just wrong. Even though this comes from AAPC. See, 689, that's the page for your driver's license. So funny. So funny. They give me tons of rationale, but it ain't there. All right. As an auditor, this drives me insane, but we got a couple of more updated and put in there. So that's intensive cardiac rehabilitation. Cardiac rehabilitation. Somebody had asked me what the definitions are of those acronyms. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. The sunset tonight, y'all. I know, yeah, it's really probably pretty dark wherever y'all are at, but here the sun's just now going down a little bitty tiny bit. But look how pretty my sunset is out there right now. It's kind of an orange and blue. It's really pretty. I'm looking for my crows. I've got a pair of crows that are mated, and one will stand there and one will stand there on those satellites. But it is so pretty. Yeah, it's still sunny here. It's so weird. Hey, MK, how's it going? I just thought you could review it for those who are testing if it would help someone. Yep, I showed the which ones are the Q, you said they were the S, QN and SH were part of yours. What is it? What has been on the exam last 4 times? So modifier categories. So payment modifiers. The only ones that I've got as Q payment modifiers are QK, QW, and QY. And I don't have any S modifiers as being a payment modifier. But every single modifier there is in your HCPCS book. You've got a full book of all the modifiers, everything. CPT only has just a few in there of what would be in or usable for CPT codes. But there is, how many pages of modifiers? Oh my gosh, there are so many. There are so many. Let's see. Let's get down to the last page right here. All right, so we've got 447 to 550-ish. No, not that far. 540. So we've got 100 pages of modifiers, and they'll start with A1, and you'll have every alphabet known to man. C's, D's, E's, H's, K's, M, you name it. They're all in here. A million of them. She said QN was in here. You even have Q9, Q8, Q7. Then they'll do QA, QB. So QN we'll get to is administrative services furnished directly by a provider service. QN is ambulance services supplied for that day. ambulances. And then she said SH was secondary concurrently administered infusion therapy. So that's about infusion therapy. When you're doing 3 or more drugs on the same patient, they need to know that kind of stuff. Ambulance services and infusion therapy. But there is 1,000,000 of these modifiers. A blue million all the way to XU. And if you ever need to know any of the definitions or what they are, they're all in the HCPCS books. The AAPC version has nice dividers of what some of them are on the front cover and back cover that'll give you little cheat sheets about them, but they have them broke out into categories. These are anesthesia, these are ambulatory, which might have your QN, which is ambulance service, listed right there as ambulatory. And then the rest of them are on the back cover. Just a crazy list of them. And then the front of the HCPCS book has all the CPT modifiers and categories, along with the open for the N. Yeah, there's just a nightmare of them all. These are little cheat sheet ones, little descriptions of them, but the full list is in the middle of the book. So it doesn't matter what year you get, but I do recommend you get the AAPC version so you have those regular guidelines in the back. And all I know about what you code first is what I've got here is that pricing modifiers are always sequenced before payment modifiers or location modifiers. So they're listing out pricing modifiers as these, and payment eligible modifiers are these, and location modifiers are these. Then I've got a list from something else I copied and pasted into here, listing out these as payment modifiers. And then we have also informationals or statistic, keeping a tally modifiers too, like laterality. Those are listed there too. But that's all I know about modifiers. I'm not that stuff. If they've ever seen QN and SH, which one would be coded first? Ambulance service or infusion? And you wouldn't do that on the same patient on the same day for the same claim. So that's a really unusual question. I don't know how you'd put those two together and come out with an answer, but for the same question, but it's very cool. One more hour. Oh, we're SH and QN. Yeah, but how do you do that? How do you ambulance is going to happen first. Well, I guess it depends. If you're in the middle of an infusion and then they call an ambulance to come pick you up, but you can't do infusion inside of an ambulance, and I just don't know how you would. That's the rough part of the CPC exam, is that their questions are not real life. They're not something you could actually code, or if you are a biller or a coder in real life and you're working in the field, you can't apply that knowledge to the answer that they want. So you have to figure out what answer do they want. Oof. She says go to A04. That's our ambulance services, right? 26. We've got our differences between an ALS ambulance and a BLS ambulance, which I know is often asked on the exam question. SH descriptor, it's only used for home infusion services. Yeah. But how would that get it billed before anything else? What makes that difference? Like, which one do you code first? Is their question, right? And QN is ambulance, and home infusion, they just don't go together on a claim. I don't know how you'd... I mean, I guess if you're doing really highfalutin, I'm flying a kid from this hospital to another hospital in a helicopter, and they are a heart transplant pending or something, I might be doing some infusion in flight. So, I'm assuming the ambulance would go first, and then your infusion would be next, because the first immediate thing is... And the first thing you're coding for that particular scenario would be the ambulance, right? They're taking an ambulance ride and they're getting infusion. So I don't know, but you're saying SH is just for home infusion. So you can't use that scenario for flying in a helicopter infusing a patient on the way to an emergent hospital or a trauma center that they need to be at. Interesting. I'm sure it's not as technical as I'm trying to make it out to be. It's got to be something easier for sure. How long can you use the books? When are you required to buy new books? Depends on the year that you're doing the exam. From 2021 to 2022, you did not need to change books at all. From 2020 to 2021, you needed new CPT book. Maybe not the ICD-10, but at least the CPT book, because they changed too many codes. It appears that if you don't take the exam and finish and pass for 2022, that you are going to need new books for 2023, because the code changes are going to be extreme for E&M and more. We normally have 200 codes change in CPT, like last year from 2021 to 2022, which is no big deal. You can handwrite them in, because that was like 5 codes per chapter. This year we're going to have over almost 2,000 codes change in the book, so it's going to be too much to write in. You're going to have to buy new books. So if you are just now thinking about getting into this, wait until October. New books are coming out then. Get those books, which are going to be your 2023, and start prepping those for the exam that will not change until January 1st. But as of January 1st, it'll be changed to the 2023 books, and then you can take your exam, is what I would recommend. They're trick questions, and I chose the answer with ALS because ALS is for critical. Yes, ALS has a EMT and a paramedic on board, where a BLS is just 2 EMTs. You can't do any injections or poke or stick anybody with a needle if it's just the 2 EMTs, which is basic. ALS, you can poke and stick patients. So, yes, sounds like you got the right one on that one. Yep. So can I still test now with the 2021 books? Yes, absolutely. Lots of people do it every day, and I've had lots of people pass this year with their 2021 books. You are fine. And I even have a document on my website and on Etsy that says if you want to change your CPT book to make it into a 2022 book, here's what you can do on this page. You just write in the code with the descriptor on this page. I tell you what page to go to and what page to write out or get rid of a certain code if one got deleted. We go through the whole book and you can do it. It's like changing 200 codes, which isn't that big of a deal compared to all the rest of the notes we already have going on it. Not bad at all. Okay, let me bring up those medicine questions. that I had that we didn't finish. Those, remember, we were doing brand new questions that I found that I had never done before on Monday. So I don't even know the answers or how they got the questions or whatever, but they're really cool questions because they're new. And I thought it was neat that they had some cool ones like this one coming up, which is hydration, which is always hard to code because there's not enough examples out there in the world. So you're going to be, if you're in your 2022 book, page 823. And don't forget, whatever the answer is, especially on hydration and infusion, write the answer down underneath these codes. If I'm doing hydration for 3 hours, here's my answer. If I'm doing it for 1 hour, here's my answer. Whatever their answer is from AAPC, you're going to want to have, because it's exactly, if you see that question, it's what they're going to want on the CPC exam question. And these are tricky because the CPT code descriptor on infusions says that the infusion is good for the initial 31 minutes to 1 hour. Well, that actually means it'll do 1 hour and 31 minutes. If you get anything over 1 hour and 31 minutes, then you add the add-on code. It's a nightmare because this descriptor is written wrong. It's not from 30 minutes to 1 hour at all in the least little bitty bit. But if I was doing this CPC exam question, this is how I would tackle this question. Sorry. The sunset is just so pretty tonight. Got lots of oranges in the colors. A new updated picture. That was up orange. Oh, I have it all closed. But anyway, it's pretty. If I was doing this question, what I would do, if you're taking your exam in person, you get to write on your exam. So take full advantage of writing on your exam. If you are taking it at home or online, you can use a dry erase board marker. But just like for your cell phone, guys, don't forget that, like, I have a screen protector on my phone or on my computer. It's just a little, thin plastic cover thingy. But I mean, even if I didn't, I could write on my computer screen and just wipe it off with a dry erase board marker. Just, I've never heard of anybody having an issue, but people can use these on here. So what I would write is, this would end up being 1 hour and 31 minutes plus is what that would be. Or if you're taking your exam in person, you get a piece of paper booklet that you can write on, and you can just write beside answer A, 1 hour, 31 minutes at least. Would we do an add-on code times 2 and that be our answer? No, we wouldn't. That's a coding irregularity right there. We wouldn't do that. Would we ever do our 9963, our first code, number 1, times 2? No, we wouldn't, because we have an add-on code underneath it that is our times code. So that's a coding irregularity. If I did this code with this one times 2, what would my answer be? It would be 3 hours based off our CPT code descriptor. So now that I've figured out what the answers would be, this would be and then down to 2 hours and 59 minutes, right? Somewhere around in there is what the answer would be if it was this answer. If it was this answer, it would be 3 hours plus, right? So this is what I like to do also in integumentary when you're removing multiple things. If one answer is 5 AKs, then you could add up what the codes would be before you even looked up the question. This is only going to equal 1 AK. This is going to equal 5 AKs. Then you've already got your answer written down, and you just have to go find your question down here. So let's go see how much time. And they have it written out in words for 2 hours. So where's our 2 hours? This makes our answer a whole lot easier, right? We've got 2 hours right there. Then I can add this example to my CPT book. Yep. Now we can go write that if we were doing 2 hours IV hydration, 2 hours equals our 96360, comma 96361. But if I was coming in off the street and reading this CPT code descriptor that says it does from 31 minutes to 1 hour only, and then the other one is for the additional each hour, I would get half of these wrong because it doesn't do that. It's so weird. It does 1 hour and 30 minutes. If you're going to add the 61, you have to have 1 hour and 31 minutes at least if you're going to add the 61. So it's crazy. But we've got our answer and rationale there if you want it. And again, it says stuff about hip hicks. What? Anyway. All right. So the next one is going to be, intravenous pumps. So what I would do here is look for similarities. Y'all know what I like to do. I've got 3 of them that are 965. Gonna go check my header out real quick of what a 965 is. Make sure I'm in the right spot. (96521) is my first one. So we're under other infusion services. We've got refill and refill. Yep. Our 5990. What header is that one under? Oh, this seems all neuro. We're back here in the neuro stuff. 5990. Not that infusion isn't. It says other procedures. I hate the word others. Oh. We're under other procedures. Oof. Let's check out our question. All we're doing is providing maintenance and a refill with the medication. 23 is something different. Irrigation. So we know that one's going to go away. This one and this one are both refills. We just need to know what type of device. Is it a portable one, which is our 21, which is portable? That should be your one-word difference you have underneath that code. And then your one-word difference underneath 22 is an implantable. Since it is implanted, we know our answer is B. But I want to know why it's not this one. What's our difference between that 559? Well, how would we know it's not that one? Because of what? Because it says almost the same thing. 90 says refill in a implantable pump or reservoir. It says spinal. Where are we at here? Are we spinal? Doesn't even say, does it? What do you guys think about the D? The D is refill and maintenance, implantable pump, reservoir, drug delivery, spinal, where our 22 says it is intravenous, intra-arterial. That's how. You know you're under the wrong header with this one. This one is like an epidural almost in the spine. So they don't have that on the header of this page on 827 if you're in the 2022 book. They have it down below in the CPT code descriptor, but it might be a good thing to have pointed out bigger that it's because this is intravenous, where the other one is spinal intraventricular. Yep. And there's our rationale. Because of the intra. The other one, 5990, says intraventricular. But that's in the brain. Intraventricular. Very tricky. All right. Our next one is chemotherapy. Infusion. Where'd my mouse go? All right. So we've got 3 that are the 64s. So I'm interested in that. We're right here on that same page, right? And 6413. Almost same page. We're under the header of chemotherapy, infusion with these. With the 36523, we're under a different header, which is the infusion. So, well, and then the other one's infusion too. Intravenous versus venous access device. So do we have a venous access device, or are we doing arterial? So first thing we got to figure out is, are we venous or arterial? It's handy dandy. Yep. So 13 says intravenous. Our 20 says intra-arterial. Our 50 is under that, yeah, that weird CNS. Yeah, that's intra-arthetical. It says that word. Our 50 does. And that's the only difference. And it's the one that's in that parentheses. Just love how that is always showing up, how the one difference is the one word that's in those parentheses. They're always telling you to box and mark up the book with what comes after the parentheses, but I find more often than not what's in those parentheses is more important than what comes after the semicolon. That 20 had, yep, intra-arterial. 13 had intravenous. And the only one that matched was our D. Perfect. And there's our answer. Makes it a whole lot easier. Just having to look up that one word that's in the parentheses and match it up. And then be sure and do a note that we have a spinal puncture and a catheter listed. Also, when you're making notes near this 50, that we can have a spinal puncture was the last two words of the CPT. Yep. And catheter. Is for chemo. Yep. Any of their words that they use that is not in the CPT code descriptor, I add them. Or a diagnosis when we figure out what the answer is. That way we can associate that answer with whatever words they're using. Yep. All right. What's the next one going to be? Physical therapy. And it had a new modifier that I've not used, which is the GP, but it doesn't much matter because it's in all the answers. But I thought it was cool because we've not ever times these codes. So I wanted to check out and see if our CPT code descriptors have these as each and if we're allowed to use them. So we've got 3 that are in the 71s, which is where I would go first to see what's going on there. 971, 61 and 64 are closest. We've got low to high to a re-eval. We've got low physical therapy to a re-eval on those. Let's see what's going on. So it's going to have a lower. We've got, yes, physical therapy, and we do have low complexity. Is it a re-eval or the first time this patient's been seen? Looks like it is the first time. I like A. Now, why would we do the 7110? Not that we don't already know what the answer is, and I would move on to my next question during the CPC exam. I would match up my low complexity with this, make sure it's not a re-eval, and move on to my next question. But if you guys want to know why we would do this times 4, 7110. It's kind of neat to figure those out. We've got application, one or more areas. Yep, 7110. Therapeutic, one or more areas, 15 minutes. It's got a star in front of it because it can be telehealth. That can be telehealth? I guess. You can make them do it in front of this computer screen. So each 15 minutes, they said they were going to do 1 hour of therapy each session, 1 hour of therapy session on same day. They said they were going to do an additional 5 sessions. Does that do 1 hour each session? It says 15 minutes. Yeah, it's on 835. I wonder how they get the times 4. Is that just for today's visit? So how many 15 minutes are there in an hour? So there's 4 15 minutes equals 1 hour. That's a terrible HR, but so that's why they did times 4, is so that it could equal 1 hour. So right here, they're going to do 1 hour of therapy each day. You can do this one times 4. So right underneath the 97110. And half the battle during that exam is to be able to find the codes on your own and get to them within 2 minutes and answer your question for sure. Times 4 equals 1 hour of therapy. They're going to do an additional 5 sessions. That means 5 more visits. So they're going to do a physical therapy and make the patient schedule for 5 more visits after today. So 6 in total, probably. 6 in total is their plan. But we're not billing ahead. Like with chemotherapy, you have to bill ahead for stuff. We're only billing for today's session. Yes, this can help you for the CPCS exam for sure. Absolutely. I gotta check on the boys real quick. I'll be right back, guys. Y'all can still Okay. We're back. Just had to help my mom with something. Boys were struggling. All right. Let's see. We've got our answer and our rationale there. Should have left that up for you. See, I could have looked at that. Thanks for all the hearts. Y'all are so sweet. Let's move on to our next one. Let's see, another something or another with a bunch of stuff in the same area. Oh my. All right. We got 3 of them with the 6-1. So what's our 5-7-1-6-1? What's going on with that one? 7-1-6-1, which is going to be out of sequence, which is going to be on 8-31. And if you have not gone through this entire book and written down the page numbers down, where codes are and should be, it's terrible. Got to be sure and do that. We got to be sure and do that, because there is nothing worse than trying to find all these codes and they not be where they're supposed to be. Be sure and go through the entire book and write down just a simple page number of where things are when you see red codes like this. That'll help you out a whole bunch during the middle. Sorry, Bixby. Okay. So our 61 and 64, thank goodness, are on the same page. The 64 is a re-eval, so we just need to see if this is a re-eval or not. If it's not a re-eval, then we'll go to our other codes. Let's just check it out and see. Are we doing a re-eval? We've got a low complexity. Requires physical therapy to learn how to walk. Doesn't look like it's a re-eval, so we can get rid of B. Don't have to worry about that. Then our differences are the 61, the 10, it's the ×3 versus not having ×3 is our 10. We could go back here and see that our 10 is physical therapy. If they did it ×10, we would have 45 minutes, right? We would need I like to find what that answer is. This would just be 15 minutes, right? If I'm in the right spot, yeah. And this would be the 16. That's gait training. This is gait. And it's just the 15 minutes. So we do have gait training. Maybe it's D. How much time did they do gait training? They did 15 minutes. Ooh, okay. I like D. What do you guys think? Y'all like C? Because that's our gait. We did 45 minutes, which is the ×3. Yep. 45 minutes. Your 15 minutes of gait. Yeah, I agree. I like C. Now I like C. That's crazy. This one includes 2 different forms of physical therapy. We've got strength, and what else in the other one? What's the 45 minutes for? It's for exercises. For what? What would it be for? Therapeutic exercises. Yeah. Therapeutic exercises for 45 minutes. Then we also did an additional service, which was gait training. This is what my cousin bills all the time. He's a physical therapist. I believe he has his MD or master's in it, one of the two. So they get to bill all kinds of fancy stuff, not only for their office visit, which is low, then they get to bill for every service that they give inside that office visit, which this one ends up being the exercises, and then also for the gait training. Very cool. All right, let's see what they say. Oops, sorry, I touched the screen. There we go. Y'all are right. C is right. Got lots of rationale with this one. But very cool. Yep, no adding. Get to bill for everything individually. That's cool. E&M would be easier if we could do that. That way, just bill for every service done instead of combining it all. Oof. All right. We've got 3 of them that are the 977s. So I'm going to go there first and see what's going on. 977. Nine, 7, 60 is the first one. We're under orthotic management and training, prosthetic training. So our 60 is each, so we can times it. So is our 61 and our 63 can all be times. Just FYI, this question doesn't do that, but just want y'all to be sure and know that you can times these. We do have some do nots to keep mindful of for the 60 and the 63. So let's check out our question. We have 15 minutes of which one? Orthotic and instructions on how to use them. Management and training, just training, or prosthetic management. So you have to decide whether we are management and training or if we're just doing training. Body areas. These are 60 and 61 are both telemedicine too. Yep, it's for shoe. What makes it the 60 over the 61 or the 61 over the 60? Management includes the fitting. So since this person did receive the fitting, where is that at? Insert shoe support, position inside the shoe. Since they said everything other than the word fitting, but they did get the fitting part of it. That's the difference. The 61 is just to train them in whatever prosthetic they already have. This one is to fit them and make sure they get one that they need. So yes, we are doing A. I don't know. In real life, I'm sure you would do a lot of additional billing for this. But AAPC is just not real life coding at all. So these are super close. I like the fact that we've got the same answer for B and C, and the only difference is times 2 or not. So let's go to our 97802. You want to be sure and try to answer your questions Saturday. People that are taking their exam tomorrow like this, hide the question from yourself. Don't go looking at the question. Go see what the differences are and really write down those differences. Understand what they are beforehand. O2 is individual. 3, if 3 is down, yes, 3 is a reassess. 4 is a group. This will help you out a whole bunch because you can eliminate things by just checking out the question for that. Is this an individual? It says she, the patient. I don't see anything about a group or anything. So I'd definitely get rid of the group. And then to find out if it's a reeval, I don't see anything about this is the second time or a reeval, so I'd get rid of that. We just need to know what the differences are in the times. Since they do have each, they are 15 minutes each. The provider does spend 30 minutes with her. So do we do times 2? This was on the AAPC quiz. Wow. So, yep. Now you can write down underneath that CPT code that 30 minutes equals times 2. And then that way you know you can do each. You know that those are timesable. We can write our little times by it. And then you can put 30 minutes equals 97802 times 2. Be sure and underline your differences in different colors. I've got orange underneath individual. I've got blue under reassessment, and then green under group words. That way they light up as different. Yep. All right. Let's see what these are. 978. We've got 10, 13, and 14. We've got acupuncture. Lovely. I know our differences between 13 and 14. These suckers are using electricity. So if there's any mention of electricity, it's these. Our 10 and 11 are without electricity. So that's the first thing in acupuncture. Find out, are you a live wire or not? Do we have any electricity? I see the word stimulation. So I know that's electrical, so I'll get rid of A and B. And then I just need to go see what my differences are between the 13 and the 14. What is my differences? My 13 is one-on-one with reinsertion of the needles. So the 14 has reinsertion of the needles along with things. So do we go in and reinsert stuff? I don't see anything being reinserted at all, but I do see they're using stimulation, so I don't see any reinsertions. So C is what I would pick. Y'all agree? Yep. But if it was 14, you would see them take some needles out and reinsert them somewhere else. There's your differences. So those 4 codes, just divide them up into 2 sections. The first 2 are non-electrical. The second 2 are electrical. That's the first thing you do when you see that question. Super handy dandy. At least you'll get yourself down to a 50-50 shot. All right. They're all 8 9s. So that's awesome. We'll just run to the first one in the numerical sequence, which is that 2 5 that's down twice. 9 8 9 2 5. Go see what your header is. We're doing orthopathic manipulative treatment, OMT. And so is our 26 and our 29. They're all under the same heading. The only difference is body regions. All you need to do is figure out how many body regions. And I'm not talking about how many body parts. I'm talking cervical, thoracic, lumbar. It's all a region. Sacral is a region. Pelvic is a region. Lower extremities is a region. Upper extremities is a region. Rib cage is a region. Abdomen is a region. And your visceral is a region too. So not by body parts, but by body regions, cervical, thoracic, those kind of things. So let's see how many regions. We're not reading. We don't care who they are or what they're being seen for. We're looking for cervical, thoracic, something along those lines. Let me go yell at Travis real quick about his TV. Is that on 9? Travis. And get that chair out of here. Grandma said you're too loud. Shh. Grandma said I could. Grandma said I could. Oh, I'm gonna go tell Grandma something. No, I'm not either. But I wouldn't tell my mama nothing. Anyway, I tell her. I tell him, is what I'm going to say. So, how many body regions are we manipulating? We've got feet, patient with polyneuropathy, feet. So we just got 1 or 2? We just got the 1, right? Just the feet? Yep, 1 body region. So we're just going to pick our B. We don't need to add the 26. We wouldn't even do that. That's a coding irregularity. We wouldn't code those 2 codes together. Oh, my Lord, my cat wants in. Oh. Come on. Yeah. I'm holding up class, girl. You want in? You want out? You want in? You want out? Okay. We'll do one more question, and then that'll be it for tonight. Let's see. We are doing, they look like they're all 8 9s. So that's cool. We're in the 8 9 similar area, 8 9 4 0. Up at the top. Again, we are describing regions. So we're only going to count regions. So that's going to be our differences between all of those. Would we do the 23 and the 40? The 43 and the 40 together? No, that's silliness right there. We can get rid of that sucker because we wouldn't code those 2 together. We don't code a mama and a child code together. So let's just check this out real quick. We do the shoulder region. So, Seeing how I'm going to explain this one. Chloe, I know you ain't about to jump up here. So, I'm wondering if we have a picture of this in our ICD-10 book, because extra-spinal is one of the key words we need to think about during this one, because of the shoulder regions. Shoulder takes care of a bigger area than just, and it's one of those areas that when they're manipulated an extra, sorry about Bixby, it's considered the extra. So when you look down there at 43, be sure and put down that extra spinal, the definition for that. There's actually 5 different areas that could be considered extra. Shoulder is one of them. So if they say sciatica sometimes, let me get you the right ones. O-D-E-R. Shoulder is considered extra spinal. It's under one of their techniques that they use for chiropractor, and they consider it to be one of those extra spinal techniques. So when they say that, you would know that they're doing the 43, which would be A. There was 5 extra spinal regions. Shoulder, because it manipulates the ton of those areas. It does all the upper extremities, manipulating the shoulder, arms, elbow, wrist, hand, all that stuff. Here we go. Where are the five? Where are the five? The five extra-spinal regions are the head. So if they need their head, the temporal migraines, the head region, lower extremities, upper extremities, the head, upper or lower extremities, rib cage, and the abdomen. So your five things that should go underneath your CPT code descriptor 98943 should be the head. If they mention they're doing the brain, scalp, temporal lobe, headache, that kind of stuff, manipulation. Upper and lower extremities, the ribs or the abdomen. Is that five? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, that's 5. Yes. Thank you, MK. Happy to help. What a better pecan do? Yes. Yes. Chloe, stop it. They're pushing the bones back together. Oh, y'all are welcome. Y'all are welcome. So this was a tricky one. You'd think just a shoulder is one region, and of course you're going to pick B. But if you were a coder and you coded chiropractic stuff all the time, you would know that the shoulder is an extremity, and that goes down there to the 43, which is super tricky since the CPT code descriptor doesn't tell you a thing about that. So, and my notes didn't say anything about it either. So I love finding questions like this. So now I've updated my notes to include extra means the head, upper and lower extremity, ribbed and abdomen area. Probably the pelvic area region, right, too? That pelvic region. So that is super helpful. Always learn something new every time we do one of these classes. Yes, yes, yes. Y'all are very welcome. Very welcome. That maybe help somebody on this question this weekend for sure for taking the exam. Pelvic spinal region. Very helpful. That's awesome. Thank you for the almost 3,000 likes and the shares and helping out and participating and coming out. We'll do this again on Friday night. I still have more questions. No? Yeah, I got one more that I found. One more, 2 more, 3 more. Yeah, I've still got several more of these questions in this back medicine area, apparently. So we'll go over some more that I found recently and keep it going. I'm working on Sunday's workshop questions too. They are so good too. I've got all of respiratory and cardiology down. I just got to go finish putting in musculoskeletal and finish up with some E&M questions, although how many pages am I already into it? Oh gosh, no telling. How many pages I'm already into it. I even have some cases down. Oh yeah, I've already got 50 questions on here, so it's going to be all business, guys, all business. I got 3 cases in here so far too, so what were the cases under? I was just fixing to divide those up. Respiratory. I got a couple of respiratory cases, 3 respiratory cases. And then I have 3 cardiology cases. 4 cases? Oh no. Really? Okay. So yeah, we are gonna be busy Sunday, guys. Busy, busy, busy. So yeah, busy, busy, busy with the regular questions that are, the regular ABC ones. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Gonna be crazy on Sunday. So hope y'all can come out and attend. And even if you can't show up, you can get access to the password and log on. So that will be so cool. And nothing but business. No kids will be here. I'm booting them out of the house for Sunday. And I have tutoring, I think, tomorrow morning. Who have I got? Who have I got besides Miss Edwards? Let's see. Who have I got tomorrow? I got Liz. I've got Liz in the morning. Miss Edwards in the morning. And MK, I got you Friday morning too. So I will see y'all then. I got another one on Saturday morning. Deborah again. And then Sunday, I got a bunch of you on Sunday. Don't forget to please join our Discord group. Tons of free information and tons of help if y'all need it too. The rooms are and we got practice questions going on in there too. So super handy dandy, guys. Yes, 5,000 and 6,000 series. I got some extra. I don't have the 6,000 questions yet, but I got 4,000 and 5,000. Like if you take the exam and you don't pass it, the CPC exam, some people are offered 10 questions per section that are extra hard in that area to review, and you can buy them. I've got the 4,000 and 5,000. I don't have the 6,000 questions yet, but these were pretty cool from tonight. I'd love to get those, but I need to let my certification slide and go take the exam again and not pass to be able to have access to them. Anyway, I will see y'all again on Friday night. I hope this has been helpful. I will post the replay up on YouTube. Monday night's live is already up on YouTube, and it is 8:44 here right now and still 100 degrees outside. My goodness gracious. I will see y'all again. Thanks, Red. Thanks, Queen. I will see y'all again on Friday night. Good job, MK. You bought the 6,000. I hope they're good questions. I'd love to see them one day. Great, Shining Woman. I can't wait to hear. I'll see y'all later.